welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with another video. By the title of this video you can tell that this video is about me almost losing a dog. What? Well, not really, but I'm gonna explain to you guys what happened. Yesterday I was hanging out with my friend Avondre, okay? So I was at his house, we were chilling, watching hockey. He lives by me, we work together, so we always hang out. If you guys watched my previous video, you guys saw that I got another job walking dogs on this app called Wags. It's basically Uber for dogs. So it's an on-demand app where you, the person who owns a dog, can say you want a walk right now for 20, 30, in an hour. Well, you put your dog's information, you make a little profile for the dog, and then you can get your dog walked. Okay? Simple. You would think that if you sign your dog up for this app, that your dog is properly trained, right? Basically what happened, I was looking on the WAG app. It was about 9:30 p.m. Okay? It was dark outside. I see a walk for 2 dogs. Picked it up. Basically, once you pick it up, you have to do it. So I picked it up. Then I realized, once I'd already picked it up, that it was a bulldog. I'm gonna insert a picture of a bulldog so you guys see what kind of dog this is. Oh, cool. And a husky. If you guys know anything about dogs, you know that these are 2 completely different, just so different dogs. One of them is fat and lazy and does not like to run. The other one is super fit, active, needs to run, needs to be out, needs to be walked constantly. So they're just completely different dogs. So my first initial thought was, how do you have these 2 dogs? How does that even work? I just don't understand. Whatever, to each their own. If you want those 2 types of dogs, cool. I'm all for animals. I love animals, okay? So I'm a girl. I'm not tall at all. I'm 5'2". I'm a small girl, okay? I do not feel comfortable walking at night by myself. So I told my friend Matthew to come with me. I'm actually gonna bring Matthew. You're gonna see Matthew on my channel eventually. I told Matthew to come with me. So whenever I tell him to come with me, he doesn't come in the house with me. He just waits outside the house for me. So I told him to wait. This dumbass goes and leaves, and the house was hard to find. And so basically Matthew was not there when this all happened. So I go to the house, get the little lockbox, because most of the time if the owner's not there, the house will have a lockbox on it so that you can get in to the house. Immediately I hear the dog, the husky. So I open the lockbox, get into the house. The house is destroyed. Things everywhere. The couch is destroyed. Everything is destroyed. And I don't feel comfortable like going into people's house. Not that I don't feel comfortable going in, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not my house. I'm there to walk your dog. I'm not there to do anything else. That's all I'm there to do, is walk your dog, put your dog back, make sure your dog is safe. I see the harness for the dogs. Mind you, these 2 dogs do not have collars on, okay? I put the harness on the husky, I put the harness on the bulldog, and I'm like, all right, let's go for the walk. On the directions to walk the dog, it said to take the bulldog out for like 10 minutes and then put him back and take the husky out for the remaining part of the hour. So as soon as I go out, luckily their house was fenced off, so as soon as I go out of the house, the husky just slips out of his harness, just so easy. I'm like, what the f***? This dog is tripping. So I'm like, oh hell no. So I get the dog, put the harness back on him, make sure that it's like secured and tight and on right. It was. Slips out again. I'm like, oh hell no. This dog. I was like, these dogs don't have collars. There's no way. The English Bulldog was fine. He was just chilling. He was fat and lazy. But the husky, he was not having it. So I was like, okay, I'm not taking these dogs out of their gate because he's gonna run away. And if you know huskies, they're very known to run and escape, and they're very smart, and these dogs are active as hell. If you have a husky, you need to walk it every single day, if not twice or 3 times a day. Like, they're very active animals. this husky in particular was a year and a half old, so it was a puppy. So this dog had energy. I'm trying to figure out what to do. And I guess what I should have done is I should have just called either the owner or WAG, but I was so scared that he was just gonna jump over the fence that I was just trying to make sure that he was good. 20 minutes goes by, okay, and he's just running around, just looking at the gates, like looking like he wants to make a run for it. So I'm like, oh no, 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 no. So this little boy comes out from the other apartment. He knows the dogs because he lives in the complex. I was just like, dude, are these dogs crazy? I don't understand. So he was like, yeah, they're crazy. So he's like playing with them, with me, whatever. So the husky poops, pees, the other dog pees. It was all fine. I try to put the dog back into the house, okay? And I'm trying to lure him in. I get a little treat from the house. Come on, let's go to the house. This dog was just standing there like, he was so smart. He was not having it. He was not trying to go back in the house. So I got the bulldog in the house with a treat. He was a little fatty. He was just like, food. So he goes in the house, and then I finally get the husky in the house, right? And then I'm trying to get out, and he gets out. I'm like, oh my God, this dog. So long story short, I basically ended up finally getting him in the house, closing it, locking it, the key back in the lockbox. Good, fine, okay? So then WAG calls me. The owners were concerned because I ended the walk early because I took them, it was supposed to be an hour, and I left at probably like 40 minutes. So the reason why I left early was because I didn't want the dog to escape, and the dog was not wearing a collar. And so when I went in the house to look to see if the dog did have a collar, the collar was halfway eaten. So it was like dangling by a little thread. So there was absolutely no way that I was taking this dog out without a collar, because if something were to happen to it, God forbid, it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm a girl, like what am I supposed to do? Run after this dog? Like it was too much for me. My anxiety was like high. I was gonna cry. It was just too much. Basically, I was not gonna be the one. I wasn't gonna be the one. I was not about to be responsible for someone's puppy being lost. When you do a walk, you have to write a report about the dogs. And I basically wrote everything that happened. And then before I could even call WAG, they called me and they asked me like what happened. I think that this is a fantastic app. I think it's super smart. I think that it's cool. I think that it's awesome that people get their dogs walked, because honestly, I really believe that dogs need to be outside. They need to, if you own a dog, you should be taking your dog out. You shouldn't just leave it in the house, because like that's not fair to the dog. This was an apartment, so it's not like the dog had access to go outside and run around. Like it was in a small apartment. That's the thing that makes me upset about this whole situation, is that the dog is suffering because the owner is not properly taking care of this dog. I'm not trying to bash on the owner. I'm not trying to say that they shouldn't own a dog. I'm just saying that if you own a dog like that, you need to be available all the time. Dogs need to be outside, and if you do not take a dog outside, they're going to try to get out and go outside, and hence why their door is halfway eaten. Dogs need constant attention, and if not, like they need to be properly trained. I don't think that this dog was properly trained to even go on walks, so I'm kind of confused how and why this person even signed up their dog for this dog walking situation. It's really just putting your dog at risk to get lost, and that's not fair to the person who's walking your dog, because God forbid your dog escaped. Like thank God he didn't slip out of his leash until after I walked out of the gate, because I would have felt awful. And so yeah, I was really shook about the whole situation. It is what it is. I feel like I did the right thing. I made sure that the dogs were in the house and that they were properly taken care of. The dog was getting a little aggressive too, and that's not good either. If you're gonna sign your dog up for this type of service to get your dog walked, you need to make sure that your dog is properly trained. You need to make sure that it's leash trained. It's, you know, I understand if your dog is not good around other dogs, because some dogs aren't good around other dogs. That's fine. But your dog should be properly trained with humans if you're going to have strangers come in and out of your house walking your dog. When you have a pet, that's your baby. And so to me, when I'm walking these dogs, I try to treat them like if they're my own, because I wouldn't want someone hurting my dog or doing something to my dog or letting my dog go. That's how I treat the situation, and that's how I treated it when this happened. So yeah, it was a hot mess, but everything was fine. I texted the owner, they never responded to me, so to me it's like, okay, well, I'm sorry, I can't control your crazy ass dogs. If you are gonna get your dog on this website, make sure your dog is trained, basically. Make sure your dog is trained, and make sure that you have collars on them, and if you don't have collars, make sure they're microchipped so that if something does happen to them, they don't get lost, because it's, you know, it's a husky. People might steal it. I'm just saying. If you guys are gonna start walking dogs, just know that it's not all rainbows and butterflies like I thought it was, because the first 5 or 6 walks that I did were great. The dogs were cool. It was cool, you know, it was fine. And then this happened, and I was like, okay. I did walk a pit bull earlier. I did walk a pit bull earlier that day, and that dog was crazy. She was jumping all over me. I have like scratches on my arm from that dog, and she was pulling. She was strong. It was hard, let me tell you. If you do sign up for this app to start walking dogs, just know every dog is different. Every owner takes care of their dog different, and yeah, not every walk is going to be easy, and I've learned that the past few days. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys have any questions about the app, about walking dogs, about getting your dog walked, I also walked someone's dog for the first time, and he was like, yeah, I don't know, like I'm kind of like hesitant to let other people walk my dog. Also, so you guys know, if you guys are interested in getting your dogs walked through this website, you can choose to have the same person walk your dog all the time. If you feel more comfortable meeting the person first, knowing who's walking your dog, you can always do that. You can be home. I've met a lot of the owners before, so that's an option. You don't have to just let strangers in your house. You can be home. You know, there's a lot of reasons why people would use an app like this. They work from home, they're bougie, and they want to take their dog out a million times a day, so they just have someone else do it a few times, whatever the reason is. But make sure that you're not neglecting your dog and just leaving your dog at home and then having someone else come and deal with that situation. That completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are looking to either start walking dogs or get your dog walked, let me know in the comments down below. I have a coupon code, so if you guys want to sign your dog up for this app, use this code right here and you get, I think it's like $20 worth of walks, which is like a 30-minute or hour walk, so you can try it out and see if you like it, and if you do, you can get your dog walked. So I will leave that code right here, and also I will leave it in the description below. But if you guys have any questions at all, let me know in the comments and I will answer them to the best of my ability, because I just started doing this, so I kind of don't know everything, but I can answer what I do know. Please subscribe for more videos. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.